Hey everybody, David the AI Guide here. First, a shout out to a few of my subscribers who are leaving comments. Diamond Roxit, DRS Metal, and Quantum Man. Thank you for your comments, and also thank you as we hit 100 subscribers yesterday. Really appreciate all the support. Be sure to keep checking us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram also. We're getting close to 2021, and there's a slew of articles coming out, of course, about what's going to happen in the next year with AI. And specifically today, we're going to talk about healthcare and the predictions surrounding AI in healthcare, not only for 2021, but for the next few years. AI is going to have a huge, dramatic impact on healthcare coming up. It already is, and we've talked about a lot of that, but we're going to break down the future right now. So first, IoT and healthcare. IoT is the Internet of Things, right? That's devices, gadgets that are collecting healthcare data on many people now. We're talking Apple Watch, Fitbit trackers, ouraring, whatever you use. All this data is being collected. What's different about that? Well, basically, except when someone was with a doctor or without sending the person home with very expensive medical devices to monitor their health at home. Historically, we're talking, doctors had no clue what was happening with patients once they left the office of the hospital. This caused a lot of repeat visits, right? And it's bad. So all of these trackers allow doctors to keep up much better with their patients. So the volume of data related to healthcare has completely exploded. And that's why data science is becoming such a huge field, not only in healthcare, but in all disciplines, is because the volume of information has exponentially exploded, and it's increasing at an exponential rate, as we've talked about. So that's pretty crazy. The second thing is the cost of that, getting that data, has dropped dramatically. So you've gone from doctors very rarely sending medical equipment home that costs thousands or tens of thousands of dollars with a patient to monitor them, to stuff that costs $100 or $200, collecting orders of magnitude more information. This is a true revolution. And then finally, AI's shining spot is analytics, right? Because you've got this huge volume of data at much cheaper cost, and it means nothing if you can't analyze it, because it's way more than any human could even begin to look at. But AI, machine learning and deep learning algorithms, can look at all of this data and relate it to the patient and warn the doctor if something is going wrong. And this is actively already happening, but it's going to accelerate dramatically, and it's going to lead to number 2 here, which is AI is going to completely change the direction of medicine. So what do we mean by that? Medicine always has been and still is a reactionary thing. You go, except for your annual checkup, you go to the doctor when you're sick, when something's wrong. So that is historically been 95+% of medical practice, predicting or preventing and fixing things that have gone wrong and preventing them from getting worse. AI opens the door to turning that model on its head. So instead of looking at huge groups of people with common problems like heart disease, what AI is opening the door to is personalized healthcare personalized to each individual human being. That will be a whole new thing. And it will be looking at diet, exercise, vital stats, recommendations, and your AI will be giving these to you and to your doctor. So this is a complete change for medicine from a purely reactive profession to a proactive profession. And for those of you who may have watched a little bit of Star Trek from time to time, you can see that whenever they have medical issues in Star Trek, hundreds of years in the future, it's always proactive, rarely reactive. The next thing, number 3, AI prevents mistakes. Humans are human and they make mistakes. They misread images. They draw the wrong conclusion from symptoms. They make all kinds of mistakes. All of us do all day, every day. And so in the medical field, that opens the door to AI preventing mistakes, because with huge databases and tens of thousands or millions of examples of each disease, the ability of AI to properly diagnose and later, going back to number 2, prevent disease is orders of magnitude better than a human being. We talked in a prior video about how an AI researcher can only read maybe at the absolute most 200 academic articles a year, whereas an AI can read every article ever created about AI in a day. So because of AI's capabilities, AI can prevent mistakes. Now, looking at all these things, we got to understand, and this article from AI Trends that I'll give you the link to talks about this. AI is still in its infancy in the healthcare space. So as amazing as all of this is or will be, this is nothing compared to what's going to happen. And we've talked about implantable devices that will automatically communicate in real time to medical professionals and stuff like that, which brings up issue number 4, privacy. This is going to be a huge issue in this space. Why? Because the only way for an AI to sufficiently work is to look at millions of examples, but that information by law is private to the individual. So it has to be made anonymous for each case that's shown to the AI, meaning no personally identifiable information, like name, of course, address, date of birth, social security number, nothing that could identify the individual in these massive data sets. The US already has a law called HIPAA to protect your medical privacy, and most other countries have laws in this area as well. But these laws are going to have to be significantly strengthened in the context of these trackers like my ouraring or your Fitbit or Apple Watch, and how this information is broadly available and communicated not only to the company that provides your device, but also to the healthcare providers who take care of you. So there's a lot going on. This area is going to change very quickly. We're going to talk lots and lots and lots about healthcare in 2021 and for the foreseeable future. It's all exciting. It's all good as long as the privacy considerations are properly accounted for. So that's it for today. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon. Take care.